to Studio 58A live at the Jamaica Information Service, our discussion program coming to you live on Facebook. I'm your host, Bon Davis. Thank you to everyone joining us online, wherever you are. We really do appreciate it. Thank you very much for your eyes. And like how we have your attention, do a favor, no man. Share the video with a friend or two or 5,000 so we can have a very lively discussion. And as you watch, remember to send in your questions and your comments so we can put them to our guests. Now, shows like today's show are the ones I really like to do, because shows like today fly in the face of the not na guan mindset that unfortunately is quite widespread in our country. See, the fact is that Jamaica is not short of brilliant people with ideas to improve the lives of the people or solve some major issue around the country. Sometimes, however, these brilliant people need a helping hand to bring their ideas to life. Well, enter the Development Bank of Jamaica, who through its Ignite program has since 2015 been assisting local businesses with innovative ideas to access grant, not loan, grant funding, meaning beneficiaries not have to pay it back, grant funding, to grow and scale their operations. Since 2015, this initiative has created hundreds of jobs and changed just as many lives. Cohort 2 of the Ignite program just graduated, so now it's time for cohort 3 to get started. And if you have a registered small business and want some grant funding of, I don't know, up to about $4 million, as well as technical support to grow your business, I think now is the time to apply, right? So here to share the details about how to do so is Assistant Manager for Business Development Services at the Jamaica Business Development Corporation, Keera Walters. We also have a past participant of the Ignite program, who is CEO of Jamaica Electronic Health Record System, Tiesha Anderson. Welcome to both of you. Just unmute.
Thank you. Thank you.
Oh, hi.
All right, great. I'm going to start with you, Keera. So a little background on the Ignite program. I know I would have just mentioned it briefly, but talk to me a little bit about the Ignite program and some of the work it's been doing to help the MSMEs in Jamaica, grow and scale and do better.
Well, first, let me introduce JBDC and then our role in the DBJ
Absolutely.
Ignite program. And if for those who are not so familiar with us as yet, the Jamaica Business Development Corporation is Jamaica's premier business development service provider to the MSME sector. We are under the government, under the Ministry of Industry, Investment and Commerce. And that is our primary focus, to really help the MSMEs in the space to grow their enterprises. We provide them this with this through a very holistic approach. We have a very holistic model ourselves that takes the people that we work with from concepts to market. So they come in at whatever stage, from concept, which is the seed stage, and which is aligning with the Ignite, as you'll see later on. And we take them all the way up to scaling. So from an idea to a concept that is being proven, to validation, to strengthening their internal processes, and giving them the right kind of leadership and governance structures, to then, scaling into internationalization stage. That is how we approach our process. And this aligns very much with the DBJ Ignite program, in that one of the things that we provide clients with is access to financing, access to markets, access to strategy development, and that kind of thing. And the DBJ Ignite program is one of the only, if dare I say, it's probably the most reliable and consistent grant program available for funding seed projects, businesses at the startup stage, because that's one of the areas where there's a huge gap in the local ecosystem, huge gap in funding entrepreneurs who have innovative ideas that could really transform or markets and transform the lives of consumers in whatever spaces they could get into, but they just don't have enough support to fund it, because we could give them all the strategy and all the technical development, which they can get at JBDC, but it also requires money. You cannot avoid it. At some point in time, they're gonna need money to develop a prototype or to get that concept proven. And so this is a really, really excellent program. I am very, very much JBDC and myself personally very excited and very appreciative of the existence of the program, the Ignite program, because of what it facilitates for the players in the MSME sector. And I must say, this program also targets the micro and small sector, which is another area where there's a huge gap in terms of funding support, because they're the smaller ones, they're the weaker ones, they're more vulnerable, and they also tend to have less accessibility in terms of their preparedness, in terms of just the resources that they have to go out and then negotiate for funding to scale the businesses or to just get it started. So it's plugging the space for where the vulnerability exists and lies. So
well, as you rightfully mentioned a while ago, it does take cash to care. I mean, you can have the most brilliant idea in the world, and if you don't really, I mean, you know, you can take it so far and no further if you don't have the cash, like you said, to create a prototype, to even start test the market, do like research to find out if there is even value or interest in what you have to do. Now, talk to me about the kind of funding. I mean, I've touched on it before, but I like when people like you call the numbers. So what kind of funding do people potentially have the chance to access under the Ignite program?
Okay, so the Ignite program speaks to innovative business concepts to begin with, right? So to be eligible at all, the business that is applying should demonstrate that it has some innovative approach to either the product or service, the business model that is being proposed. Maybe there's a new market that they're trying to create, to penetrate, and that's one of the first things that will be evaluated. And there are two windows in which the potential beneficiary can apply. The first window is the ideation window. And this is where there's just an idea. It's just the concept, and a prototype needs to be developed. And the prototype, like we said before, needs to be developed so that it can actually be tested in the market space, right? And at this stage, the business can apply for up to $3 million in grant funding. $3 million is actually an increase from the previous year, which was $2.5 million. So there's some improvement in the amount of money that this seed stage business can access. And for the second window, which is the commercialization window, this is where a business that is still in the startup phase, they may have already developed their prototype and proven the concept that this thing has potential, but they now need to validate that the market that they're going after actually is viable, that there's a space for them to actually commercialize. So this grant now affords up to $7 million. So at the commercialization stage, whatever innovative technology that they need to completely develop and to penetrate the market space, they can get up to $7 million to do this.
Taught me something today, because before this, when I was doing research, I heard it was like up to 4. So apparently it's been increased. The ceiling has shifted.
Yes, the ceiling for that one has also moved from $4 million. So very exciting stuff in the space.
All right, one sec. Let me show some of the persons already tuning in to T. Will Panache saying, thank you guys for having this session. Appreciate it, T. Will. We're doing it just for you. So if you have any questions you want to ask, make sure you line them up so we can talk. You can ask them to Keera, or more importantly, talk to Tiesha, who's going to share her experience in just a minute. So Tiesha, I want you to start working on your story. So when I come to you can just go through it and tell me with all the tears and the ups and the downs. I need a real dramatic story, all right? I want you to convince as many people as possible. So start lining up. You're on deck. But Keera, one before I even go back to Keera, Candice Christine showing some love. She's asking some questions. You know what? Let's just go straight to the questions, because this is the audience's show. So let me just start sharing their questions so we can get their answers. Candice Christine, thank you, Candice, for your question. She's asking, what if the business is not yet fully registered through the company's office? Are they still eligible? Keera, answer that one for me.
Okay, unfortunately, there is a minimum requirement that the business be registered up to the latest or the earliest that it could have been registered is not February rather, 2021. So if you were registered up to last month, then you have a chance. So it's a minimum. Let me just tell you what the criteria is where the minimum registration period is. So it's under 2 years for innovation, for the ideation grant window, and it's within 2 years up to 7 years of registration for the commercialization window. All right, so under 2 years for ideation and up to 7 years for commercialization.
Up to 7 mil. I'm just making a note so I can come back to it in a minute.
Mm-hmm.
All right. Are there any particular industries or segment? I know it's really open to innovation and creative persons, but are there any particular sectors because, in many cases, they tend to tie some of the innovations to the country's developmental needs. So if there are particular sectors that that the agency is pushing, or the government's pushing rather, there might be some with a little bit more, I don't want to say preference, but they might have a little bit of a better chance. But
Absolutely.
are there any particular industries that are, being targeted at this time?
Yes, there are. And I mean, this is trying to, as you said, we're trying to influence the development of the country. The funding is there to create impact. And so some of the areas, the industries that this impact is seeking to affect are software and ICT industries, artisan products and creative industries, agri-tech, agribusiness, light manufacturing, climate change. Gender inclusion is one this year. That's a big focus. So women entrepreneurs, please listen up, please line up to take advantage of this opportunity, because you will be getting special scrutiny for selection, because gender inclusion with a seeking to support women is a focus of this. Women-led businesses, women entrepreneurs, women startups in tech, innovation, project idea solving, problems that are affecting Jamaica and the region will also be prioritized. And innovation in emerging technologies, there's a lot of things going on in that space now, big data, which our guests and our clients, Jers is a part of that sector. There are both women, it's a women-led, 2 women in our tech startup, it's a big thing.
Which is fantastic, by the way, but we don't so we're not ready for that segment. I need to we're giving Tiesha some more time, because we're going to go full Young and the Restless and her in a second.
Oh my goodness, why are you trying to frighten Tiesha?
No, don't worry about that.
No frightening.
Tiesha, all right, man, don't worry about that.
All right, some other areas: electronics, biotechnology, artificial intelligence, cybersecurity, and anything along those lines that will create some impact in the space on things that are affecting the country and the region.
All right, so there you have it, people online within the hearing of our voices. Understand that tech is good. Things in agribusiness, which we've been pushing for a long time, software startup, and our women definitely are getting some particular, I wouldn't say preferential, but some special treatment, because we want to balance the gender disparity insofar as women are getting the opportunities to create and scale businesses. So if you know a young lady, or you're a young lady who has an idea and wants to take it from 0 to 60 and just go full circle with the industry, it's the time to dust off that business model, or just refresh the business model so you can start considering whether you're going to apply it to the Ignite program, the next cohort. We're going to get into the application process and the details and so on. But I would like to bring Tiesha in here. Tiesha, I want you to come talk to me about the process, the journey itself. Where did this first of all, entrepreneurship, when did that become a thing for you?
Yes, so let me speak about JERS and Jamaica Electronic Health Record System. And we have been around more of the idea project stage about 8 years ago, from 8 years ago. And it's myself and Keisha Harriet Harvey, who is the CIO. And we really wanted to bring a difference. We are both IT professionals. We're both programmers. And we have done many solutions, right, on a national level as well, and otherwise. And we wanted to find a way how we could help the health sector. So this started 8 years ago, a lot of research. And now we were introduced to Ignite through a fellow past awardee. And we felt that this was the right opportunity for us. We wanted to know, commercialize this thing. We know it is a first to market. How do we do this? We are just tech people, right? So JERS is really that platform, an online platform that allow doctors to access the full spectrum of patients' medical record, irregardless of the different doctor offices that keep your records. So Vaughn, you may have about 3 different doctors that you go to, right? How does one of those doctors access all your medical record across the 3 doctors? It is a manual process right now. We don't have any way because the 3 doctors might use 3 different systems.
Exactly.
Right? So our platform is what you call interoperability, which means we can share your medical data across those 3 doctors' offices. And what the benefit that does for your doctor is that he's able now to see exactly what is happening with Vaughn. So he doesn't need to be asking you the question, what medication are you taking or whatever. He's able to collaborate too with other doctors to give you the best care. That is what we do. And guess what? This is in a very secure, GDPR compliant way. So it's not just giving you a service. All these years of research has taught us a lot. You come up with the best idea, but security. JERS,
absolutely.
The Jamaica Electronic Health Record System is about security, right? So we made sure that even the Data Protection Act that just came about, we make sure that we are compliant, the GDPR standard, right? While we do everything. So this is what we're about. But you asked about the application process. It was good. First of all, what I love about the Ignite program is that it gives you the opportunity as a seed stage company, as we are, we were not in business yet, in operation yet. And we're at the seed stage and we're able to apply to something like this. And from the start, just even completing the application, you saw that you needed to make sure you beef up certain things, right? And it even started to build it from even application stage. It was an online application too. And I love that. I love that we're going. So this is before COVID, and Ignite had the application online. I like that. I was the one who completed it. So it's nothing that is hard. It's simple. You know your business. You know what you're about. It's really asking you questions about your passion in your business.
Well, let me just take the time to big you up on that idea. That sounds brilliant because it's something that I've thought of on more than one occasion. Like you have your doctor over there, so. You wish there was one central location you could have just say, you know what? See all of my records here. Run through the analysis so you can know what you know what I mean. A better appreciation of what's happening with me as a patient and make better recommendations as my physician.
Guess what, Vaughn? It's with your consent. It's with your consent as a patient. So it's not that a doctor can go ahead and just pull up your records at any time. No, each time you have to give them a consent because everything is electronic now, So you will get a code to either your email or SMS message, and you have to give that doctor each time he needs to access your medical record or any doctor. And it's only authorized or registered medical practitioners who have access to this as well.
Right. So it sounds like it's kind of similar to, for example, like the credit report situation where you have to give permission to a bank or whatever, whichever financial institution or whatever,
to pull.
And they will have a look and pull on whatever the case may be. So you give authorization to a doctor. So you guys store the medical records and let's say, for example,
earlier I mentioned about security is important.
Yeah.
No. So our online platform, what I say, is a first to market. The only other company I know that is in the US, one other in the world I heard about doing this way. We do not store your records.
Okay.
We just give the doctors the opportunity to connect the dots, to get all your medical record on demand. As soon as that session is done, it's gone. And if he needs to go back in, he needs to ask again, and you need to give him access. So we don't store the records at all. It is only consolidated at the point of that it is required.
All right. Sounds really good. This sounds like a game changer. So I'm going to pay close attention to see what exactly JERS does in the next couple of years. And a couple of people online are showing you some love. Kevin Cunningham saying my DQ friend up. I don't know if that's you or that's Keera, but
I
whichever
think
one.
it's Keera.
All right, so Keira, that big, you're getting a big up there, and Beverly Blake saying lovely, and says, but she's also saying very good for Cheers. So it sounds like you have some supporters
I wonder if
already.
that Devil Blake his mom, but yes, thank you so
But
much, guys.
then there's no love like mommy's love, you know what I mean?
No
That's
love at
perfect.
all.
All right, and Patrick Miller is talking about PM builders, and I'm not so sure. All right, so we're gonna give you some more information, Patrick. Hopefully, you can take advantage of this program as well. T. Will Panache with a question which I believe is for Miss Walters. She's saying, what's the role of BSIs in the application process when submitting? So you have to explain what a BSI is first, and then give me some more information where that is concerned.
Apologies, my four-legged family member has decided to join the conversation. So if you hear her, just don't bear in mind.
No
Sorry.
problem. All right.
Thank you for that question. Excellent question. So the BSI, the business service intermediary, plays the role of the facilitator for the applicants and the beneficiaries from this stage through to the end of the project lifecycle. And in this instance, the project lasts for 12 months, 1 year. And so our job is really to deal with the initial screening of the applicants. So applications will come through us. There's a process where we have to approve, give a letter of approval to the applicant, the beneficiary. And if let me just tell you, we are actually about I want to answer the question of what the BSI does. I think I said that already, but I want to tell you what JBDC is doing as our role as the BSI. And we basically at this point, since the window opened April, why am I in April? I will call in April, in March, this month. This month it was launched in the 17th of March. So the application window is online again, just as in the case of cohort 2. And you go to the DBJ Think Biggie Ignite website to apply. That is in general, but the role of the BSI is to do an initial screening. So don't just go there without having identified which BSI, as in which company, which business development company you're going to work with throughout the entire lifetime of the project. Because we will assist you to prepare your application, and trust me, it's a heavy document. Tiesha, tell them, don't it?
Yes, it is.
It is a heavy document.
But being online, it wasn't so hard. I mean, if it was physical, it would have been worse, right?
Because you can work on it, save it, and go back and so on.
That is correct. Right.
We will have access to also see what you're doing to give you feedback and stuff like that. And we will also be the ones to give final approval before it's actually submitted to the committee at the DBJ, who will then select the ones for receiving the grant. So we assist you with preparing the application, and if selected, we will also be creating your development plan along with you, which is going to be what is managing you throughout the project. So you must submit a concept note for consideration. And the concept note must state which window it is that you're applying through, if it's ideation or commercialization. It must state how much, these are some of the, give you an outline of what's in the concept note, which we will send to you. You must give an overview, a high-level summation of what the project is, and including what the innovativeness about it is. Must make that point. State what are the objectives of the project. What problem is being addressed, what solution, this describing and defining the solution. What is your understanding and what have you gathered in terms of the markets, the space, the competition? What are the potential customer targeted customers looking like? What's the size of them? What
financial projection?
Yes, risk and mitigating strategies, because you must show that you have assessed your project and you know what are some of the risks and vulnerabilities of it are, and how you intend to mitigate or to deal with them. And of course, you must include a budget. Very, 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 very important that a
Realistic budget.
Oh, yes, must outline all the project costs and that project plan that I talked about, the implementation or work plan that is going to use to manage your project. It must be so detailed. It must be so detailed that your budget is not just one big lump sum. Oh, we're going to make a prototype for $3 million. No, it must show in very specific detail what are the stages, what are the steps, and everything must have an objective. It must say, okay, this part is necessary to achieve this other part. So you're showing the connection, the alignment from start to finish. It must have timelines and stuff like that. So your concept note may not be perfect, let me say that, because it is called a concept note for a reason.
I was just about to ask you, because with all those things you're talking about, I was like, yeah, I have the idea, but suppose me don't have all of that where I talk about right there. So where do I go to get the guidance to help me put my concept note together?
That is where we are. That is where we are concerned. So we are gonna send you this outline in the initial stage, just so you know where you're going, that's where you need to be. Right? And you submit that to us. And remember, guys, this is a competitive process. The grant, exactly, the grant.
Yeah, it's a grant. So it's not like it's a loan or where they're inviting you to come. It's a grant. So, the best, may the best, concept win,
Exactly. So it doesn't matter. It don't mean that we don't like your project if you don't get selected. I'm just putting it out there that not every project is going to be making it past the selection, the first screening round. So don't treat this lackadaisically, as in you get this project outline and you just put some. Think about it first. Give it your best shot first, not overdoing it as in, trying to get it perfect, but don't be lackadaisical about it, because it is going to be a part of what is used to say, do we invest time in trying to assist you to access this grant, or do we put you in one of JBDC's development programs instead to prepare you for another cohort, which would be the following year. So it's not that people need to lose hope and think that they have to have something perfect, but we are going to be looking for the most ready applicants. And I should say that now there is a benefit to those persons who would have already been in relationship with a JBDC. We have a whole lot of clients, almost 10,000 clients in our client database, right? And out of that 10,000, we have about 5,000 that are active, and we have maybe about 1,000 that have close relationship with a business advisor. So that's speaking to what we call our hand-holding approach, where there is an intimacy with the entrepreneur, the same model that you've just heard about how Ignite is intending to support the clients with this grant. The beneficiaries with the grant is that you're going to be assessed, you're going to be given an action plan as to what is necessary in terms of gaps identified to move you from whatever stage you are right now to the next stage. I talked about from concept to market. Wherever you fall along that business life cycle stage, we will then put a plan in place with you to get you there. That's the essence of our hand-holding program. We have people who come and they get access to the many services that we have to offer on a one-off basis, yes, but we aim, because we too want to make impact, we want to be able to get metrics that show what it is that we're doing, and to move some clients that started at one level to another level to show impact. And so we have this in place. You give us, in exchange for this, the support, the capacity to track what you're doing, your growth metrics. And this is also a part of the Ignite process. You will be required to submit reports on your performance, growth metrics that show whether you're growing in terms of sales, other revenue, market penetration, employment, and so on. So the people who have relationship with us already, we would have already been talking to them and already telling them to apply and preparing them. And so the other persons who do not yet have a relationship with us, you are going to have to submit this concept note for us to know what your project is about. So right. Don't wait, okay? If you are hearing this right now, do not delay. begin to submit those concept notes. The deadline is April 7th. The window closes for applications on the 28th of April, but you cannot wait until the last week
All
to
right,
make
you
the
hear that,
submission.
people? You hear that, people? If you have a business idea, she said from the 7th to the 28th, but I would recommend, say, you want to start, get your thing ready. So on the 7th, you get yours yours at the head of the line, right?
No, man, it's the application, the application window is open now.
It's
But
open now.
it is
Okay.
open now. It is open from the 18th of March. And I'm suggesting to the persons who do not yet have a relationship, because we have already started to reach out, all the BSIs should have already started to reach out to the clients that they're working with, who they know who have projects have potential for this kind of grant, and working to help them to apply. But we're not barring other persons who may be in the space who think they want to try to access it, but we're saying you are going to have to submit to us a concept note so that we can evaluate the eligibility and probability of your success to decide if we should invest in you trying to get into the grant program or place you in a JBDC program that will prepare you for another cohort. So
right,
the deadline for that concept submission, you can send them in starting now. You can already start to send them in. The deadline to send in the concept notes to JBDC is April 7th. And you're going to send them to the Project Management Research Department. The officer in receipt will be Amanda McKenzie. She will be doing that screening of the concept notes. And her email address is amckenzie, MCKENZIE @jbdc.net. And you can reach her at 928-5161, that goes up to 4, or at 427-3099. All right, important information, guys.
All right, so there you have it, people. I mean, there's opportunity there, and JBDC is inviting. If you think you have a concept, you think it's good, you think you can clear all those hurdles in the concept document, submit the application. This is a great, I mean, I cannot begin to stress how great of an opportunity this is. It's a grant. You hear that? Grant, not loan. Yeah, I mean, there obviously there will be strings attached in terms of they're going to monitor your performance and so on, but that's for your own good. Like it's to help you grow, develop, and achieve what you really set out to achieve. Because when you win, they win. It looks good for everybody, right? So you have up until the 28th of April to submit your concept to the JBDC.
No, the 7th of April.
Yep.
Don't tell them the 28th. The Ignite window for submitting application closes on the 28th. So if anybody send them concept note by then, it's not going.
All right, so to the 28th to the DBJ.
Right, but it's the 7th of April for JBDC.
The JBDC. All right, there we go. So people were talking, like, just to refresh your memory, we're talking here about the Ignite grant offered through the Development Bank of Jamaica, which allows persons to access up to 3 million if you're at a concept stage. What Ms. Walters just mentioned is the ideation grant. You know, if you're trying to flesh out your concept and turn it from concept to sustainable business,
prototype,
right? And then you have the commercialization, which allows you to scale your operation that already exists, something that you have started, have created, and you want to take it from A to Z. You know what I mean? And you want some funding to do that. That's up to 7 million that you can access through the DBJ's Ignite Fund. This is a great, great, great opportunity. Do not let it pass you by. I mean, too many companies out there die on the grapevine simply because they just can't. They don't have the cash, you know what I mean? They just don't have the money. This is an opportunity to get some money to grow your business and make it really what you want it to become.
Yeah.
All right, I'm going to go back
earlier you mentioned about the application process. I wanted to also tell the aspirant persons who want to apply as well that there's also a pitch session that you
need. How was your pitch?
Right. Well, it was good because, you know, as Keera was talking earlier, and I forgot to say this, as part of the BSI's role, I did not know that the BSI actually starts working, that unholding is not just when you get through, it is from the start. So even when I applied and it sounded good, I walked into JBDC with a whole group, a room of many persons there, and I had to do a pitch at that stage. No, I thought that the pitch was only when you get through and you go to DBJ. Yes, that is it. But they wanted to also prepare you even before you go to that bigger stage, right?
Right.
And it says really just making sure that you have everything together. And as I said earlier, you're passionate about your business. So it even makes it easier for you to speak about it. And with little support and coaching from a BSI like JBDC, it will only make you, optimize your thing better. Yeah.
No, so what were some of the strengths and things that, because I mean, there are many persons who've never done a pitch before, might not even have an idea how to even start the process. So what was that? How did you prepare and how did you execute it?
But honestly, I have previous experience doing pitch, right? Doing those type of stuff. But as I said, I went thinking that everything was just perfect and I'm okay. And I went to JBDC and they were like, okay, fix this, change that. And of course you have a time limit too. So you have to make sure that you are within that window when doing a pitch. You actually hit the thing running, right? You don't want to make the pitch finish and you never really get the salient points out. So it's really rehearsing your pitch too. Yes, you have it here and you know everything, but you need to rehearse it and make sure that you're comfortable when you're actually doing it as well. So the more you do it, you get comfortable so that when you hit the stage and the questions come at you, you can respond because this is your thing that you have been putting a lot of effort into before.
All right, great. Let me just show some quickly of the persons who have sent in comments online. Pauline S. Nelson saying, proud of the work being done by JBDC in assisting MSMEs to scale their businesses. So kudos to the JBDC for the work that they're doing. Says she also has some words of commendation for you, Tiesha. She's saying, delighted that the innovative company that you have founded, a female in the tech space, is rare. Upward and forward. So take those words of encouragement and believe me, we really do. We're looking forward to seeing you grow and become Bill Gates and Steve Jobs or whatever, because it sounds like a fantastic concept and it really does have tremendous growth potential.
Yes, definitely.
Aaron Holt saying, like the innovation of JR's. She's saying, Campbell saying, hi Keera, you and JBDC continue the good work. Awesome. Candice Christine saying, this is like an elevator speech. Thank you for that, Candice. Thank you for tuning in. Love the participation always. And Beverly Blake is saying, lovely. So lots of persons wishing you well and expecting great things from you. So, we're going to keep an eye on you, Tiesha, to just see how far this really goes. Right. And I mean, if people want to lend you support or find out more about what JR's does, where can they find you? Where can they get more information?
Okay, so we're on all platforms. You can just go www.jrs.com. We're also on Instagram, JRS Official, on Facebook, JRS, and that is GEHRS. So you can follow us and you can just reach any of us. Our contact information are on our website. It's on our website, so you can get in touch with us at any time.
All right, just Jamaica Electronic Health Record System. All right, that's JRS, Jamaica Electronic Health Record System. So you can check that out. Yes. All right, Keera, where is the application? I don't know if you mentioned it before, but just where can persons find the application form or the concept document or the related documents that they need to start looking at when they're thinking about Ignite or something like that?
So the everything is on the Think Big E website. You go to Think Big E website and you'll see the innovation grant information and you'll see the Ignite information there.
Keera, you want to just spell out the website for them? Because the Biggie, you want to just spell out.
No spell like, don't spell like Biggie.
Just Think Biggie. So it's Think, THINK, Big, BIGEE.com. So that the Biggie stands for boosting innovation, growth, and entrepreneurship ecosystems.
So it's 2 E's at the end, big.
2 E's. E. Mm-hmm.
thinkbige.com.
Right, and it's always a reminder to persons listening who are intending to apply. Do not go there and apply directly. When you get to the section, there's a section in the process that requires you to upload the approval from the BSI that you are working with. You will not be able to move past that part. You will not be able to submit that if you have not selected a BSI, meaning you have established a relationship with us such that we can approve you. Even if you select a BSI that is there and they don't know you. When they go and they see your application, they're going to say, don't know this project, cannot recommend this project. So ensure that if you don't already have an relationship with JBDC and you have not been directly contacted to apply, you need to come through the system. If you have a BDO and that BDO has not contacted you yet, you can reach out to the BDO. Call the office, email them. You may have their CUG, call the CUG and begin to initiate the process. But do not just go there. You can go for information's sake, but you need to have a BSI relationship.
So as we try to bring things down, Tiesha, I want you to just once again make your pitch. Let persons know that this is something that's definitely worth their time. That's worth their effort to go and invest in, learn about, and then hopefully make an application so that they can benefit as well. Talk to me about some of the benefits that have come to you from having gone through this process, and how you can sell that to other members of the public who might be watching and might be interested. They have their curiosity piqued and figure out they too can develop their company. What would you say to them to convince them to take the step to go and apply and so on?
Well, I'll say start right now, right? Because it's not just the financial benefits, right? Yes, the funding was very good because we were able to actually start our prototype and actually do a proof of concept from that, right? And of course, investment in marketing and so forth that probably would not have been able to do at this stage, right? However, there is so much more benefits to being on DBJ's Ignite program. Let me tell you, the corporate governance, so I'm going to say some things that was really foreign to us because we just were passionate about the solution and not taking into account actually building a real business out of this and actually connecting all the dots, making sure that even in terms of your corporate, you have a good governance structure at your company, right? You have the right advisory board, your report writing skills are going to be improved, right? So if you're not good at that, trust me, this program, it pushes you to do that. Their financial management, there are some things that probably you're not so good at yet. You're going to be very good. At the end of it, you're going to be a totally different professional, right? You're actually groomed. And then you have the DBJ actually make that part of it that you had to go to some of these seminars that they believe was very important to any business at all operating. And for that, I'm really grateful. Right. And each month we had to make sure that we at least attend, and it can be webinar. No, you have a lot of webinars going about. You have to make sure that at least once per month you attend a seminar that is going to give back to your business in a positive way. Right. So those are some of the, and of course the networking. You're going to meet so many other innovative persons and businesses, and you can actually network with some of them and can actually push your business even more too. And of course, a promotion too. We have already been contacted by international companies, right? Wanted to do some strategic alliance with us from the UK, South Africa, and so forth. And this is the benefits. It's also, so the financial one is great. Of course, we need that. Every business need that, right? But as I said, it's the grooming. It's actually building you as a business. The business growth needs all these other things.
Sounds to me like the supporting and the other, the other benefits sound like they worth a little bit more than the cash benefit. Because networking, strategic, just the money you save from being able to do things right the first time and not have to fix problems or bad old ways of doing things that weren't probably the most efficient or the best or stuff like that. I can see how going through this process is going to turn you into the best professional version of yourself. So yeah, I mean, once again, the benefits speak for themselves, ladies and gentlemen. I mean, submit your application. It's definitely worth it. If you really want to move from, a person with an idea to a person with a tangible business. And believe me, this is the way forward for many of us as Jamaicans. You have to start thinking like a business owner, operator.
Yes.
So when you too have the skills to run your own business. You know what I mean? Of course, every business needs employees, right? Right, Tiesha, every business needs employees. But at the same time, you become a better quality of employee and offer more value, and then might be in a better position to go and start and grow and develop your own business when you go through processes like these. The benefits they're just too many to list here. You know what I mean? And Tiesha just went through some of them, and you know what I'm saying? Go apply for that. At the end of the day, go apply for the Ignite grant. That's the fundamental message. Go apply for the grant. You won't regret it. All right. So, Keera, I'm going to give the last word to you. Once again, I just want you to talk to persons about the process itself for applying and what they benefit from, the concept document, all that they need to know so that if they're interested, they can send the application to JBDC and get the ball rolling.
Okay, thank you for that. So the process is we are reaching out, or we at this time have reached out and continue to reach out to our clients who we have close relationships in hand-holding relationships with. And so those clients wouldn't necessarily have to submit a concept note to us because we would be just guiding them through the process of application. However, for persons who do not have that relationship with us, they will need to submit to us by April 7th, no later than April 7th, a concept note that is describing what the project is, highlighting the innovativeness of that project, and giving us clear some idea, something to do a little bit of an initial screening about the competitiveness, the innovativeness about the project. You must state which window it is that you're applying through, whether it's the ideation window, that is you need to complete the development of a prototype such that you can get proof of concept, or you already have a working concept, prototype that has proven its concept and you are now looking to commercialize the business. So you must identify appropriately which stage you're applying for. You must include a budget, some information about your market and describing the problem and solution that you are solving. And you submit this information to Amanda McKenzie in the Project Management and Research Department. You'll submit this electronically. So you will send it to the email address amckenzie@jbdc.net. amckenzie@jbdc.net. And there will be a screening process, and contact will be made to tell you whether or not we are going to consider you for the submission to DBJ for further screening, or we are recommending that you enter into one of JBDC's support programs of support to prepare you to access a more appropriate type of funding, because there are other types of funding that may be more appropriate for you. Mm-hmm. Remember, DBJ has other products as well, and there are other sources for funding. So our job is to try to help you to figure out what's the most appropriate source and type of funding for you. But to just top off everything that you said in terms of benefits, Tiesha, and even your summary, Vaughn, the benefit is that this is an invaluable opportunity. It's a rare opportunity. Initially, I said that there are not many seed grants out there. Mm-hmm. They don't come out. I think DBJ is the most reliable and consistent one. These opportunities just don't exist. So if you really think you have a project that could pass the criteria, meet the criteria, then please go ahead and apply.
Yes. All right, so here it is, people. You have an idea, you're a business person, you have an inclination, you have something's going on, you have an idea, and you say, you know what, I believe this is going to be wicked, and this can change the game, you know. I just need some money to take the idea out of my head and manifest it in front of me so I can start the process of building it into something sustainable. You have the ideation grant through the DBJ's Ignite program. That one can give you up to $3 million to take your idea to turn the idea into a prototype, a workable prototype that you can start shopping, growing, developing, and building into what you really want it to be. Or maybe you're a person who already has the idea, already took some steps to get it up and running and start operating in the way you want, but you need some help to grow it even further, to take it to that level where you can really start approaching your investors and approaching different kinds of partners and so on to grow it into something that can really, really make a big difference in the country. That's why you have the commercialization grant that can give you up to $7 million to do exactly that. But even better than that, as Tiesha was just saying, you get networking opportunities. You get the opportunity to participate in technical development seminars. You get the opportunity to really become a better professional, the best version of yourself as a professional, so that you can truly run your company and be successful. Because at the end of the day, just having the idea is not enough. You have to know what you do. Because in this day and age, only the best professionals really survive, right? So, and I hope most of these ideas would be in areas that can contribute to national development. As Keera was just saying a while ago, we're not restricting people, but there is a little preference being given to ideas or innovations in particular sectors. We're talking about your IT development, like what Tiesha is doing in terms of her JERS company and what they're doing with medical records. We're talking about agribusiness, agro-processing, things of that nature, things that can help to truly make a big impact. And there's particular effort being spent to uplift and empower female entrepreneurs to balance that gender disparity in terms of some of the access to resources that we have to deal with in this country. More women need to be given an opportunity, and this is one way in which it's working to do that. All right, so you have all of these benefits. So now the only thing left for you to do is apply. As Keera was saying, make a connection with one of the BSIs, which is your business service intermediaries. And naturally, she's here, so we're going to recommend Jamaica Business Development Corporation. And their name kind of tells you exactly what you need to know. Jamaica Business Development Corporation. You have a business, you want to develop it, go check them. Makes sense, right? So you check them and they can go through all the steps with you to make sure that you are in the best position to make a pitch to get the kind of funding you need. If not, there are other things that they can help you with, because there are lots of other support networks that businesses don't even realize that they need. And until you approach them, you wouldn't even know better, right? Then you go on to think biggie. If you think you're good enough, you think you're ready, you think my business plan, my model, it's shot, man. So my thing up there. Go on thinkbiggie.com, check out the application forms, and go through what you need to do and make sure that you submit it correctly. And if you are one of the best out there, you stand a very good chance to get one of these grants. And like I say, it's a grant, not a loan, it's a grant. So that, I mean, who wouldn't want a grant funding right about now to grow and develop their business? Doesn't get any better than that. This is a fantastic program. I urge everybody who can to enter and take full advantage of the opportunities that it will provide. All right. I'm going to leave it there. I'm going to wrap. I'm going to thank both Tiesha and Keera for being here today to share information about the program. This has been really enlightening. I think we're going to make connections with both of you afterwards so we can do some more and get more information out there on this beneficial program, because people need to know about this, and people need to know, especially through Tiesha, that it is possible to go through a government agency, get the kind of support you need, and actually start growing a business. It happens. She's making it happen right now. And if she can do it, I'm sure she'll tell you, you can do it too, right?
Correct. Yep. Definitely.
All right. So with that, it's time for us to wrap. Thank you to everyone who's tuned into our discussion, especially those of you who sent in your questions and your comments. We really, really appreciate it. Thank you very much for doing so. And if you have a question, not to worry, you can send it in. We'll make contact with either Keera or Tiesha or whoever else we need to, so that we can get you the right information, so that hopefully if you're trying to apply for this program, you'll be successful. All right. So don't hesitate. Drop us a line in the comments, whatever you need to do, and we'll get you the right information. All right. Remember that our audience plays a major part in our show. So if there's anyone in particular you'd like us to have in studio, let us know. And we'll try to have that person in studio as soon as possible. Don't forget to follow us on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram at Jamaica Information Service. And while I'm at it, you can follow the JBDC as well. And you can also check out JERS on social media as well. Find out all information you need. We do this every week live on Facebook. I've been your host, Vaughn Davis, and this has been Studio 58A Live. Thank you again for joining us, and please have a wonderful day.